Yep.
Oh, wait, are we live?
Yeah, we went live while you were gone,
Yeah.
just so that we could catch you off guard. We were hoping you would walk back on stream, starting talking about what happened in 1999 with those orphans.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the Gradient League Pastel Edition. This is going to be the second campaign run simultaneous to Pokemon Neon. This will follow a team of miscreants as opposed to our traditional good guys that you'd see in the Neon Edition. Today, grouped with us, we have Jogsaw, is the one with his camera on today. We have Passive Possum with the profile picture that looks kind of like Principal Ratburn, and then we've got Tyrannical Terror, the eye over here. So to start us off, the glow of neon signs and streetlights create a gradient of light against the starless night sky. The city streets of Saffron City aren't safe at night, and the only folks rimming about are the ones and twos of muscle from street gangs that treat the city as their stomping ground. Venonats swarm alleyway dumpsters. A Meowth replaces its lucky coin with a shinier one after winning it in a catfight, and a pizza delivery boy on a moped tries in a panic to shoo off a Mastiff chasing after him. It's cold out tonight. The buzz of electricity powering the blinking open sign of a bodega is like a calming purr to the Glameow resting on a bed of newspapers on the sidewalk beside the door. Two people step out of the bodega and jingle the bell above the doorframe. The man in the duo carries a case of beer in front of him with both hands, while a Pichu clutches onto the top of his head, chewing on a piece of bubble gum. The woman with him cradles the paper bag of groceries close to her and leans her red-haired head on his shoulder. The Glameow beside the door, however, does not share the happiness of the couple, and storms off round the corner to find a more secluded place to sleep. The darting tail of a Rattata catches its eye while it struts, but its mission stays true. The orange light of the street lamps fades behind it until it's cloaked in total darkness. The flapping of wings reveals an unseen haunch crow that had been waiting in ambush while perched atop a doorframe to an unsuspecting brick building. A brick building that looks like any other, however. If you were to try and enter this building from the street in front of the row of compact cells of concrete, mortar, and brick, you wouldn't find an entryway. Instead, the very door the haunch crow descended from to obtain its meal for the night is the only way into this run-of-the-mill hole in the wall. The door, made from a deteriorating aluminum, reads Enia Computing Systems, 1946 Rocky Road, Saffron City. Just past this door is a dusty hallway littered with crumbling drywall and a spinner rack nesting in the corner above the frame. Until a staircase leads down into seemingly nowhere but empty darkness, the building seems just like another derelict hovel. However, down this metal staircase is a wide room spanning wall to wall with decades-old technology. Computer accumulators. A single flickering mint green light illuminating the center of the room shows four silhouettes standing across from each other in pairs of two, and they seem to be plotting something. We are actually going to take that back. 3 silhouettes, because we're missing a player today. So 3 silhouettes stand across to each other. They
One
seem
of
to
them
be
was
plotting.
actually a coat wreck.
Yeah. All right. So let's start and go around to introduce everybody. The first one that we're going to go with, let's go with Jogsaw. Jogsaw, could you introduce your character by name and appearance as well?
1 second, let me pull up to make sure I actually have the right description for
Okay.
the character before I forget.
While you do that, let's instead go first to Tyrannical Terror. Terror,
Yeah.
could you tell us your name and appearance of your character?
Oh god, I didn't expect to be the first one to go. Okay, so Madeleine is a somewhat short, sort of average height, pale-skinned woman with longer blonde hair with a sort of strawberry blonde kind of tint to it. Not quite strawberry blonde, but rosy. And she's wearing a form-fitting version of the Team Gambit uniform with the tuxedo jacket over the black turtleneck, cotton gloves, and dress slacks. And she's also wearing knee-high red-bottom heels and 2 bow-like clips in her crimped and put-up hair that match her partner Pokemon.
Okay. And who is her partner Pokemon?
Is the slightly red-shifted Gothita.
All right. right. Would Gothita be out with you right now?
Yeah, she's probably just standing right next to her.
Okay. And we mentioned Team Gambit there. Do you care to elaborate a little bit more, give a bit more detail into exactly the Team Gambit uniform? You said that it was a uniform, so sounds like the rest of us are going to be wearing that similar garb. Is there anything else accompanying the tuxedo over the turtleneck?
Because I completely skipped over it. She's wearing a black masquerade mask that's kind of obscuring what her eyes look like.
All right, all right. Jogsaw, are you ready?
Yes, I believe so. So my character is gonna be a fine gentleman named Upton. He's a taller, sort of lanky guy, kind of unkempt, like not just ratty, but definitely a little scruffy. Sort of thin in structure, always wearing glasses, but they're kind of, too big for his face, so they're almost always falling off, sort of. His style of dress outside of the usual, Gambit uniforms going to be sort of, plain dress shirts, slacks, and shoes. And I just thought it'd be funny to have him always wear like really big or really obnoxiously colored bow ties.
Okay,
So, but I just have this picture in mind of like this paparazzi type because he is sort of a reporter, paparazzo, trying to get whatever the next big scoop is. So just this idea of this unkept sort of like frantic paparazzi looking type guy.
got it. I love it. And you
Mhm.
said your name was Upton?
Yes.
Okay, and Upton, what is Upton's Pokemon partner?
So it's gonna be a little Solosis. His name is Scoop, and he wears a little like paparazzi reporter hat. And he's probably kind of just drifting around as this meeting is going, not really paying attention, but just kind of looking around.
Awesome, awesome. And Possum. Possum, what is your character's name and what do they look like?
I'll be playing as Horace Durst, tall, robust, face weathered into a scowl. He wears a simple poncho, ratty and brightly colored from many years of patchwork repairs. His partner is a rock ruff named Winona.
All right, all right. Well, the three upstart team members here have been assigned their first job by their boss, a mysterious individual by the alias of Mr. Tom. It's their first night together as a team, the birth of Team Gambit itself. Soon, very soon, Team Gambit will make their worldwide debut. Their first job, you may ask? Well, that's easy. It's something that would surely get the region's attention. Steal the Saffron City Gym Leader's prize Pokemon.
We're going to jail.
So, the three of you know little to nothing about Saffron City. You do not even know who the gym leader is. As a bit of background for everyone, we have Upton. Upton, what region would you be open with the region that you're from? Is that something you want to keep under wraps, or are you comfortable with saying what region you're from?
Uh, I I'd probably give a region other than the one I'm currently on, but I'm trying to keep that under wraps.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's
So
going to be different every time you ask me.
Upton is not from Kanto. I can tell
Yes.
you all that much. Madeline, you have moved around quite a bit. You are not traditionally from Kanto. You also don't have the experience of Saffron City. And Horace, would you be explicit with the region that you're from?
I do believe that I would share some details with my outfit.
All right. So Horace is from Johto, a sister region for Kanto. None of the three of you are native to Kanto and you do not know the area. I cannot stress that enough. You're going in blind here. You've just been instructed to steal the gym leader of this city's prize Pokemon, and you don't even know where to start. You don't know where the gym is, you don't know who the gym leader is, and you don't know the layout of the city. Um, So your job is to learn your mark, get the details, and plan the heist. So I put together a brief little multi-step setting for you all if you do need the assistance as to a bit of a planning phase if necessary. Unless you already have some ideas. I do have something that you guys will get to do first, but wanted to know if you do kind of want that guiding hand. It's just a brief phase outline. That's all I had for you. I want to leave all of the details for you guys to come up with. This is you guys' heist. It is your job, and Mr. Tom has trusted you all with this task. You're not
Terrible idea on his part.
So to start, Mr. Tom understands the first job needs to be perfect. So you are allotted as much planning and prep time as necessary. You do not have a deadline, but this is to make sure that your first heist goes off without a hitch. To get you started on the right path and cover a large base foundation of issues, Mr. Tom has set you up with an information contact. You are instructed to meet a man by the name of Jimmy on a certain street later tonight.
I'd say that's a good place to start, I'd say.
Do we know what street or just a street?
You do know what street. Terror, since you asked, what is the street's name?
P-Dove.
P-Dove Street. Is it a street? Is it a boulevard? Way?
I definitely know the difference between all of them.
It's just going to be aesthetic anyway. So it's whatever you want it to be. Whatever.
P-Dove Street.
P-Dove Street. All right. So you've been instructed to meet your information contact, Jimmy, on P-Dove Street.
Now, did Mr. Tom ever give a very specific time or just a vague generalization?
He sure did. What time was it, though, Possum?
Want to say 6:45, second bell would ring.
That's not late enough. Sunset
It's an
wouldn't
incredibly
even hit yet.
specific time.
So let's go.
I'm generalizing here.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's go with you're set to meet Jimmy at exactly midnight on P-Dove Street.
Yes, let's do it.
Today is the first day of the Kanto Open happening in Vermilion City. So a lot of the people in Saffron have dispersed. They're either already at home or they're on vacation to the next town over to see the Open. Kanto Open is a huge event for everyone in Kanto. It's an event that brings together people from all regions to see young trainers or even experienced trainers competing to get their licenses to compete in the Kanto League, whether that be the gym circuit or whether that be the contest halls. So it is a huge event for everyone. Like, remember that Pokemon battling in the Pokemon world is essentially like baseball. It is an enormous sport that everyone takes part in. Pokemon are a very central part of these people's lives. So seeing new trainers beginning their journey and getting their licenses, that's a major part for them. So there's not a whole lot of people in Saffron tonight, which may lend to being able to slip around as much as you'd like. You know that Kanto Open, you've at least heard it from passersby, and it's traditional in the other regions as well that the Open is probably going to last about 2 more days. So today was the first day. You've got tonight and the next 2 nights before everybody's going to be pouring back in to their daily lives. Is there anything you'd like to do, talk about, ask about, or discuss before you leave your home base?
Most people are at the Open, so we probably don't have to worry about sneaking around too much. Streets should probably be pretty dead, especially at midnight while everyone's gone.
And that's another question. I mean, you guys aren't even known as a villain team. Today is your first day as a villain team. Today is the founding of Team Gambit. So you don't have to wear your uniforms around if you don't want. You don't have a cover to keep. You could wear your civilian clothes, your street clothes, or you could wear your uniform. It's up to you guys.
I probably should.
Oh, yes, that's true. Do
'Cause
you want? Would
People
you?
are more likely to recognize me out
Would
of
you-
my uniform than in it.
True. Would you tell your team members that you probably should wear your uniform?
Um,
Because in
like I sort
uniform,
of
even they may
passive
not recognize you.
aggressively implied it. Like,
Okay.
you should know who I am.
Oh, okay. All
Good
right.
guy,
Mhm.
really?
Little bit of mystery. Okay.
Hmm.
Not even
Is
just
there?
mystery, just upset that I have to explain it.
All right. Gothita is also going to cross her arms and put her nose up in agreement with you. Scoop and Upton, the two of you will have a bit of your little reporter's instincts are going to go off. Like there's a story here. There's definitely a
Yeah,
story
like-
with whoever Madeline is.
Like, she's actually
That's a
kind of
good question,
suspicious.
actually. Madeline and Horace, would you use your real names amongst each other?
I just go by my first name. I don't say my last name unless anybody asks.
Okay.
You know, it's just about enough to, combined with the mask, is just about enough to keep me under wraps.
Okay. And Horace, do you have anything to hide?
My name is Durst.
Your name is
I
Durst, or
keep
your
my
name is
first.
Horace? Oh, you're keeping your first name hidden.
Yes.
So
Oh.
you're gonna let it. Okay. So he will introduce himself as Durst to you all. That's what you'll know him as. So we have Durst, we have Upton, and we have Madeline. The three of you, as I said, have been given your first job to steal the Saffron City Gym Leader's prize Pokemon. But your first step before you do anything, and this is what Mr. Tom is recommending, is to go meet with your information contact, Jimmy. Do you have anything you want to do before we leave your home base?
I can't really think of anything.
All right.
I think we're good.
Anybody else got anything? Because I'm just like, let's just go meet the guy and see what's up.
Then let's go. All
Did
right.
we even, have we introduced ourselves to each other? Have we talked at all before this?
Oh,
You all showed up. You tried on your outfits, and you were briefed by, or you were briefed by Mr. Tom, and Mr. Tom showed you where your outfits are. You tried them on. Where we are opening the game is you just put on those outfits. You have said nothing to each other.
Oh.
Okay. While we're walking, can I sort of try and strike up a bit more of a friendly conversation?
Absolutely, absolutely. Who do you speak to?
Just generally to the group. I don't think that I've gotten either of your names.
I was kind of looking. It was like, name's Upton. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Just Upton.
Yes. I don't really trust
And
her quite yet. So it was like, yes.
Okay.
That's what you're getting right now.
And I did want to ask, Madeline insisted that she at least wear her uniform. Are the two of you also wearing yours?
I'm probably not
Not?
yet,
Okay.
because I'm like,
All right. So you're wearing your standard dress shirt, suspenders, slacks, shoes.
yep,
You have a reporter hat. Do you have anything else
yep.
of note with you?
I'm always carrying around a big old camera.
All right. All right. And Durst, are you wearing your uniform, or are you you going with your street clothes?
Durst will be dressed in his uniform as they are currently.
to note that I don't think I'm wearing the whole uniform.
Okay.
I don't think I'm wearing the suit jacket or the gloves.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then still switching over to Durst, Madeline has also asked you your name.
My name is Durst.
Real
We can,
social couple of guys, aren't you?
by all means and manner, can we just skip the pleasantries? We have a job to do.
I'm just
I'm all
saying,
for
if we're
being
gonna
social when we're not on the clock, but once we have a better plan, then we can deal with the pleasantries and 20 questions and all that. But but we kind of need this thing to go well.
Gothita's gonna almost
Bye.
get a little offended by this answer. You're gonna see the tiny Pokemon, the little bow on top is gonna be bouncing as it walks along with the woman of your group, and Gothita's brow is gonna furrow, almost like I can't believe you would say that, and her arms still crossed. And you're gonna see Gothita is gonna begin walking closer to Madeline. Madeline, you'll pick up on that too. You can see that Gothita's first impressions of these two is not very high. Scoop, you'll see, is squinting a little bit, like those small beady little eyes in Solosis's membrane are just sort of squinting, looking over at the two who appear offended that you wouldn't share, yet they haven't shared anything either. Durst, your Rockruff. What is your Rockruff's name?
Winona.
Winona is going to be walking along. They're going to be doing like the big steps as they walk. Their arms are going to be like sticking out straight-legged out in front, sort of like how those Shiba Inus will dance. But this one's just going to be doing it as its normal walk. Its tongue is going to be lolling out of its face. One of its eyes has gone over to the side, and it's jogging along. The two of you, Jigsaw and Terror, both of your characters notice that something's not quite right with this Rockruff.
Oh, they're looking at
Pat
us like,
Gothita's head.
is your dog okay, sir?
Weird looking dog. I sort of pat Gothita's head and like shoo her in closer, like, oh, so rude, so rude. And I'm like, kind
Gothita's
of
gonna reach up for
glancing.
uppies.
No, that's too much. You're asking too much of me.
Gothita will then
like,
cross her arms and turn away from you too.
whatever, man. I'm too busy being distracted by whatever the hell's going on with Winona. Like, no lights on upstairs.
All right.
Horace will slowly turn to stare directly at Upton. She's fine. And then resume walking forward. Occasionally, he'll speed up to correct Winona's path.
So you'd say like Winona seems to just drift off to the side a little bit as she's walking.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
if he says she's all right, then he's all right. So moving on.
After
That-
walking through the cold city streets of Saffron City, you're on the bad side of town for sure. You can tell just by the number of buildings that aren't lived in, the number of buildings that don't have businesses, the number of buildings that seem like they've been sitting there a bit too long, the ones that should have been gone a long time ago. Eventually, you'll make it to P-Dove Street. And sure enough, under a streetlight, just as Mr. Tom told you he would be, is a scrawny man in a leather jacket, jeans, hair swept up into a pompadour, smoking on a cigarette. Next to him is a two-headed bird with a long beak, both of its faces scowling with these devious smiles as it looks around all shady, sort of a bit of a hump in the neck as it leans down. You can tell the thing just it's built for crime. That must be your
I'm
guy.
familiar with like Kanto species of Pokemon, huh? We
Uh,
don't even know what this is. Well, I mean,
I would, if you want to check it out, and if you guys would have said, if you guys say that you may know what this Pokemon is, if you think your character should know, then I will let you roll a a Pokemon education check from your character sheets. I would say the ones most versed in it are probably Horace and Madeline. We'll reveal why later. I feel like with Horace it's a bit more obvious just because Horace is from Johto, a neighboring country. Oh, Horace, I'm sorry. Yeah, you have no idea what this thing is. It's a bird. Horace rolled a 5. I believe it's up in the chat, but yeah, Horace, your Pokemon education did not come through for you here. 2 1s on your d6s and a 3. You don't know what this is. And
let me see. I don't think I put any points into Pokemon education whatsoever. Oh, okay.
you got a 6 on yours.
It's a bird.
Yeah. The two of you just know
Some
of it
sort-
as a bird. Thing looks weird. Some sort of
Durst
Weird
is
mute
gonna
fucking
lean
with two
over,
ostrich.
heads.
gonna lean over to Madeline. Some sort of two-headed bird.
Is it a bird? What defines a bird?
Hey, you
It's like
guys
an
over
I mean,
there.
ostrich
it's
to
got
me.
a beak.
I see you over there.
Ostrich.
Hey,
Oh,
you who I'm
Huh.
looking for?
it depends.
Maybe.
Name's Jimmy.
Really
looking for a
fucking
Jimmy?
helpful.
I'm gonna kind of search for it. It's like, yes, I do believe that our common associate has directed us to meet with you. How are you doing, my good man?
Jimmy's doing great tonight. And
Are
who's
you
Jimmy
referring to
talking
yourself
to?
in the third person?
Yeah, sometimes Jimmy talks to himself in the third person, but only to make a point. You never emphasized yourself in the third person so the people you're talking to that you just met don't forget your name?
Man has a point.
It's a
Anywho.
common problem I got. You know how common a name Jimmy is?
I do. I am aware
DM,
of how common a name it is.
Yeah,
how tall is
I gotta
Jimmy?
make a point. Jimmy is probably like 5'5". He's a very short man.
He's shorter than me.
How tall is Madeline?
I think she's 5'6".
Yeah, he is pathetically
She's
short.
definitely taller than him wearing heels.
Yeah, he is a small man.
Oh, little guy.
With
Yeah,
this,
he is too short to be
um,
acting as cool as he is.
with this, a small vein on Horace's forehead is gonna bulge and pulse, and he's gonna loom over Jimmy. And I would like to make an intimidation check, as
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him,
Oh man, here we go.
quit wasting our time. Mr. Tom sent us. What do you have?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So with a 10, Jimmy is going to be backed off a little bit. I actually want to backtrack for just a second. So this is technically campaign 2 for everyone watching. However, for those who are watching for the first time, or they're seeing this as their first campaign in the Gradient League series, we are playing on Pokemon Tabletop United. Skill checks on this are based on D6s instead of D20s. We'll still use D20s for accuracy rolls and general rolls like that, but their skills are based on D6s. Horace Durst here has a intimidation of 4d6, and out of those 4d6, he rolled a 10. So Jimmy is going to be very, very terrified. Hey, I ain't looking for no trouble, man. I know Mr. Tom sent you. He's already paid me, right? He set me up so I could get you guys your licenses. That's what I'm here for. You know, Jimmy's your guy. Jimmy knows where stuff is. You don't want to beat up little old Jimmy, right?
I'll kind of sort of look over to Durst and be like, all right, man. It's like, I know we need to get the info. Chill. It's like chill out. We're not gonna be able to. We need to make sure this is a beneficial interaction. We need to communicate
Yeah.
with this guy and exchange. We need to make it to where we're not just trying to browbeat this guy into giving us info. Got to be some push and pull, some give and take. You know.
Yeah, exactly, right. I'm just trying to make sure that who I'm working with is not they're not some no goods who are also police officers of the law. So I kind of need to know just a little bit of baseline information about you. You know.
Jimmy,
Yes.
look like I give a damn about the law.
Uh, you know, I mean, the people who try to pose as no gooders, they try to make it look like they don't give a damn about the law. He's gonna be wiping sweat from his brow. His bird Pokemon next to him, both heads are going to be like slumped down and looking at you from the side. Jimmy's gonna say, "Look, all I need to do is I need to get you to the place. We can have a real blossoming relationship here, right? I mean, I can be your information contact. I can get you more than just these licenses. I can do a lot more for you. You guys don't know about Saffron City, do you? Well, I know about Saffron City. I'm your guy. All right?
I'm gonna join this.
Oh,
Like,
about what we
sounds
do
like
know.
sounds like a good idea, good sir. Shall we? Let's
You are
let's
very
let's
trusting
talk
of
and
this
walk.
random individual whose last name we do not even know.
Let's talk and walk and talk. It's like we're bird in daylight or
Yeah, for
moonlight, I
sure.
guess. Or did he?
He's gonna like put out his cigarette on the concrete of the sidewalk and begin walking along with you. He's gonna say, "Just follow me. I take you to the place. Dizzy, come on!" And the bird Pokemon is going to trot next to him and keep pace. The bird Pokemon is taller than he is. With its neck slumped down, it is the same height, but it seems to do that to make itself look more mischievous more than anything.
I'll kind of whisper around. I was like, and then if we don't like him before we get there, then we ice him.
Jimmy will put his hands in the pockets of his leather jacket and keep walking. You say, I'm sort of like the king of P-Dub Street. I know how to run a thing or two, and a lot of people know Jimmy's name. You talk to any of the goons in the city, you just tell them that you talk to Jimmy, they're gonna know who Jimmy is. I don't care how many Jimmys there are in the world. You say Jimmy, they're gonna be thinking of me.
But didn't you say earlier that you had trouble with people remembering your name? Is
Yeah,
it
but
that they remember your name or they know your name?
Well, I'm a bit more memorable with the not so legal types of the city. Yeah.
Understood.
Like if I was to call my mom and say, "Hey mom, it's my birthday." She's going to say, "Who the hell are you?" But if I go to this place I'm taking you and I say, "Hey, it's Jimmy." They're going to know who Jimmy is.
Jimmy, I think you have more than one problem just being people can't remember your name. Do you need to talk about that?
Nah. It's all good. Jimmy's the king of the world out here. These are Jimmy's streets. If you only count Pete of Street and the next one over, but they're Jimmy's streets regardless.
So you're not. It's not just P-Dub Street. I was under the impression you only were ruling over P-Dub.
There's a little alleyway on the other side of Pete Up Street. That's also sort of
my
territory
goodness.
that nobody claims.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get a move on, right? Like you said, Burning Moonlight. Let's go. And so Jimmy's gonna pick up pace very awkwardly, not really liking where the conversation was going.
I'm gonna lean over to Upton and go, "He's overcompensating for his mommy issues," and then keep walking.
What is the Pokemon equivalent of Sigmund Freud?
Durst is gonna blink at that. He's gonna pick up Winona as now is not the time to be toddling around, and he's gonna follow after Jimmy.
Okay. So the walk over there, Jimmy's gonna get that confidence back to him after shaking off the conversation that you guys were having. And Jimmy is gonna say, "So listen, in order to get your licenses, you got to do a battle anyway, right? They got to have your name on the books in order to get you a license. So I figure I could kill two birds with one stone. We're gonna settle a little bit of a debt for me too on the back end. It'll make me be more flexible for you."
Did you say that phrase around your thing?
Oh, Dizzy? Yeah, Dizzy's fine with it. Dizzy, you ever killed birds before? And the two-headed bird is going to look over, and both heads are just going to like up and down, up and down. They would just
the two birds.
They were just P-Dubs, right? We had to kill a couple P-Dubs in order to get control of P-Dub Street. They beat us a couple of times. Like you don't want to underestimate P-Dubs too much. They can pack a punch. There was like 4 or 5 of them at one point, right? And I mean, Dizzy, I don't think he really killed them, right? I think he just maybe KO'd them and then they flew off or something. But you get the reference. Dizzy's not afraid to kill no birds.
Why are you walking around getting swarmed by birds?
Wait, it's called P-Dub Street for a reason, and you gotta fight for your territory.
Against the P-Dubs.
Against the P-Dubs. The P-Dubs were who ran the territory before Jimmy did.
So you took over the street from a collection of about a foot tall creatures.
Yeah.
That do not have a single brain cell.
I mean, you could say that about a lot of the goons who run in the mafia, like a lot of people are just, the height would be different, but the number of brain cells, So, I mean, in a way, it's the same thing.
I'll jot down a little notebooks like aggressive P-Dubs.
So Jimmy will lead you through Saffron City to a small corner-side locale with a neon sign reading Franklin's Diner. These would be things you might want to note down. Jimmy's gonna hold open the door for you all and let you head on inside.
Franklin's.
Franklin's Diner. He's gonna have you all sit down in a booth and hand you menus. And the waitress, a young woman with a neck tattoo of a Skorupi and big bumped lavender hair, will ask, "What do you want to eat?" And she's gonna be chewing bubble gum. She's gonna blow a bubble after she asks. Jimmy's gonna order 2 dots and a dash, cooked in axle grease, and whiskey down in the alley with the belly warmer. And could you point me to the restroom? The woman's bubble will pop. She'll chew it a few times and while waiting for the rest of you to order.
Do you wines at this establishment?
No, we got coffee.
Like
You like orange juice?
espresso, Americano?
We got coffee. I got grape juice. It's from concentrate. It's about the closest thing to wine I got.
I'll just have a water.
Tap fine.
Yeah, sure, it's okay.
What about you two gents?
You guys got a special going on today?
Yeah, you can get the breakfast sampler. Comes with pancakes, sausage links, eggs your way.
I like it. One of those, please. Thank you.
Of course. And you, sir?
Coffee, black, and
You
Horace
got
will
it.
look over at Winona. Small plate of fries.
You got it. And she's going to click her pin on the notepad and walk away. So you guys are seated down at the booth now. There's maybe like 1 or 2 other people in the diner. It's late at night. There's no one else here that really. So you guys can feel free to ask any questions, do anything you like from here.
Can I retroactively order a smiley face pancake for Gothita?
Of course, yes, you can.
Good.
Okay. Anything you guys want to ask each other, talk about, ask Jimmy?
Jimmy, a lot about Saffron? The city,
Yeah.
not the plant.
Yeah, I know quite a bit about Saffron City, born and raised.
Have you ever spoken with the gym leader?
You hear that siren out there? That's how you know it's Saffron City. There's always coppers around these parts. Have I ever met the gym leader? No. I think Dizzy would get pummeled by the gym leader, honestly. I mean, Dizzy, I love you and all, but I mean, you're not very good at paddling, my guy. I mean, those P-dubs, they were nothing to squawk at. But yeah, no. The gym leader. I mean, I know the face, I know the name, but nah.
What is the face and the name?
Yeah.
So you're looking for a touch by the name of Simone Richards. Simone Richards. She's got the crazy big hair. She's permed it all the way down. Always wearing spandex. Looks like she's about to go in for an aerobics class. Can't miss her.
As is the style in this legally distinct 80s town.
Yeah, in this legally distinct generation, this decade, you would call it, where everything
approximately an entire decade condensed down into one moment.
Exactly. All 10 years are happening simultaneously. So, you look for a person like that, maybe over by the Saffron Mall. Go to the Mega Mall. Her gym is in the mall. She's got a dance studio over there.
Horace will lean over. How tall is Upton?
He's 5'4".
Okay,
Kind of small.
Jimmy's got you beat. Jimmy is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell he's got an air of superiority over you at least. He's terrified of Horace, but over you, he's like, yeah, I got you. But at the same time, he's like,
I feel like an Amazon.
So Horace will lean down to Upton. The hell's a mall?
Place for you to go if you want to, buy stuff or like watch kids scream and throw stuff in the food court or something, man.
Listen.
Oh, so it's Mark.
What's your name, cowboy?
It's Durst.
Durst. Well, Durst, maybe during the daytime, you and we go over to the mall. I show you around the place. If you ain't ever been to a mall, the Saffron Mega Mall's the way to go. All right, they got everything there. Everything. You say one thing. You say one thing. Anything in the world, I guarantee you, they got it there.
Why does it kind of feel like Jimmy's been hitting on Durst this entire time?
He's kind of sucking up to him
Like
because
asking
Durst,
him out on a date.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy thinks Durst is kind of cute or something, I guess. No, Durst terrifies him, so he's doing everything in his power to make it in his good graces, and you can tell that. I will not even have you roll an intuition check. You can clearly see he is doing this to save his own skin.
So back to the Miss
Jimmy.
Richards person. Do you know anything about like what types of Pokemon they use, or like any particular ones that she likes? Anything like that?
She's really into fitness and exercise. So I mean, I don't know, maybe like a water type or something, like aerobics. That's something like swimming, right?
You don't know.
I have no idea.
You don't know any of her Pokemon?
No, I don't know any.
She doesn't have like one that's kind of familiar around Saffron?
No. I mean, not in. Listen, Jimmy stays in the shadows of the city. Like if the people walking around were just the people of the city, and everyone in the shadows were rats, Jimmy'd be a rat.
Well, what is a rat? Second of all, what does that mean?
Rattata. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd be one of the little rodent Pokemon that scurries around in the alleyways.
Looking for cheese.
So I'm sorry, I don't know what their Pokemon are, but you scoping around, you guys don't got criminal covers you got to be keeping. I'm sure that you're gonna be able to go over there and get it just fine, Just go ask or something. Shouldn't be too hard.
Hey, Jim, if you don't know anything beyond the scope of Pedo Street and that one alley, what is Mr. Tom paying you to do for us exactly?
Listen, I'm getting you your licenses, and don't come in here saying Jimmy doesn't know anything outside of Pedo Street and the alley that he runs, right? Like, those are the streets he runs. He knows everything else, just not the stuff that you may do during the daytime. Jimmy's a night owl, a noctowl, if you will.
Will not.
Yeah. Okay.
Jimmy, you're a very strange man, and I almost find it endearing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever said to me.
I said that I almost found you endearing. That's the nicest that anyone said.
Yeah, what I said doesn't change.
Jimmy, are you okay?
No. And about this time, the waitress is gonna go back. The woman will return with a coffee pot and mugs, and she's gonna hand a key with like one of the wooden handles, the wooden marker that they have at gas stations and truck stops and stuff in the bathroom. She's gonna hand it to Jimmy and say, "Bathroom's on the right." Jimmy's gonna take the key and smile. "Thanks, Denise. Maybe you and I can go see that movie. I hear Return to the Present is pretty good." Jimmy, you know that Jonesy would wring your neck for even asking that. The answer is still no. Jimmy's gonna beam. "Can't fault the guy for trying. You four.
My
three.
man has no play.
How many you guys got? Is there 6? Yeah, the 3 of you and your Pokemons. Come with me." Jimmy's going to get up from the table and just leave the food there. "Come on.
We're going with you to the bathroom?"
"You're coming with me to the bathroom." And you're going to see that the bathroom is clearly on the left, even though Denise said that it was on the right.
I'm bringing my food with me. I don't care. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Golfina has scarfed down this pancake the second it touched down.
Hell yeah.
It's gone.
So,
world building and lore building for the character of Gothita. What kind of syrup did Gothita put on her pancake?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Oh yeah. What were you gonna say, Possum?
So Horace will pour himself a rather hot cup of coffee and just down it. He will then proceed to stuff one of his pockets full of French fries, not even minding that they're greasy, just stuffing it into his pocket.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'm gonna walk on the other side of Upton. Like, just put him between me and Durst.
All right.
I don't want to be next to French Fry Man.
So you guys make it to the bathroom. The door has an out of order sign on it, but Jimmy will unlock the door and walk right in. On the other side of the door is a descending staircase that leads down just one flight. The order is the code, and her saying the bathroom on the right means the coast is clear. You're going to want to remember that, because I got a feeling you're going to be using this place a lot. You did make sure to note down my order, didn't you?
I pull my pad is like, I did not. Can you repeat?
Yeah,
Two
of
Few
course.
dots
dots and a dash?
something of the like.
Yeah, 2 dots and a dash, cooked in axle grease, and whiskey down in the alley with a belly warmer. And then you ask her to point you to the restroom. And listen, if she says restrooms on the right, you're clear. Okay? They ain't no one snooping around. But if she tells you the restroom's on the left like it really is, you steer clear. Don't go to that restroom. It means someone's watching. Something bad's gonna go down, you go in there.
Whiskey down with a belly warmer.
With the belly warmer.
It couldn't be, like, shorter?
Absolutely not. Gotta have one of these complex keys so people don't get down there, you know?
There are 3 people in this establishment, and 2 of them are Pokemon.
Yeah, but you know, it's nighttime, you know? It's the night
It's
crowd.
nighttime?
Not a whole lot of people coming down here. Listen, all right? Jimmy knows the place. You just gotta trust the process.
Okay, yeah, no, you live here, man. I don't
Jimmy's
I
gonna
don't
be
live on
walking
Pito Street.
down. Jimmy's gonna walk down
Thank
the
God.
staircase, and he's gonna make it to the base of the stairs. Upbeat, dark pop music permeates behind an iron warehouse door at the base of the stairs. Welcome to the racket room. Jimmy will push open the door, and the pink, purple, blue, green, and yellow moving lights will flood the stairwell. A thumping digital percussion and a heavy synth keyboard will pulse through your bodies. At the far end of the room, a Loudred serves as the club's DJ. The Loudred is dark in color instead of its traditional color. It's all black, and then where the speakers are on its head, it's these blocky speakers that go up like standing pieces, and then they have neon lights on the inside. Its fingernails are all lit up. The inside of its mouth is glowing like a glow stick, and it has these intricate designs on its eyeballs of all magenta neon colored. Jimmy will close the door behind you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Is this a rave speakeasy?
Kind of, yeah. Jimmy will close the door behind you all
Hell yes.
and push between your group to lead you along the outside of the dance floor to a registration desk on the left. Currently, on the dance floor, 2 trainers are locked in a heated battle with their Pokemon. A young woman wearing fishnet leggings to a blue short skirt, a cream-colored sweater, and a black face mask will point her index finger out to command Psyduck. Percy, now, use Psywave! And the Psyduck will grasp at its temples and groan in pain until its eyes open wide with purple and pink energy emitting from them. Across from it, on the floor, will be a Voltorb tattooed with lightning bolts and angular tribal markings. The trainer is a man in his mid-20s, wearing a multicolored windbreaker, rimless sunglasses, and has his head completely shaved, with tattoos that match that of the Voltorb decorating his scalp. The man commanding it will wave his hand out to the side. Voltorb, use rollout to avoid the attack. The Voltorb will get a high-speed rolling head start, but the Psywave will hit the side of the Voltorb before taking off, causing it to become dizzy and fire off directly into its trainer. Air horns and cheering will go off as the referee, a woman in only a leather vest for a top and black pants with fashionable chains and spikes on her hip, neck, wrists, and shoes. She's going to bang her head, making her deep purple mohawk bounce. Her bright white smile will widen behind black lipstick as she screams out into the microphone, "That's what I'm talking about! The winner is Lucille!" And Jimmy will nod at the clerk at the counter. "Hey, gal, I got 3 rookies here for you. All legit. You get 'em on the books?" The clerk, a young girl, the spitting image of Denise, the waitress from upstairs, will pop a bubble in his face, then look to you all. Names?
I sort of reach my hand down and very slowly usher Gothita to stand behind me.
Okay.
She is not meant for this environment.
All right.
I'm not going first.
Durst will step forward.
Okay.
Durst.
Is that with 2 R's? Kind of drag that out a little bit.
1
1
R.
R. All right. Well, Durst, what Pokemon will you be entering in your battle tonight?
So on the walk over here, Durst will have had 1 fry held down at his side, and Winona will have been stumbling after it.
Okay.
Carried on a stick.
Still, like, she's got that newborn baby deer legs, so she's kind of like trying to catch up to it. Her mouth chomping after the fry, but not being able to quite get it. So she has to take a couple more steps to catch up.
So Durst will drop it on the ground to let her have it. Then he's gonna like pick her up by the scruff, holding up the rock ruff, and say, "Winona."
Winona. All right. And you two?
And Madeline kind of like brushes her turtleneck off and stands up straight. She's like, "Madeline Gloss." Like she's saying the most important thing in the world.
Oh, okay. Can the 2 of you roll? Actually, not you, Horace. Upton, roll me a general education check.
Alrighty. Doo-doo. 7.
7. Madeline is pretty famous.
7.
You know that the name, you don't know if this person is actually Madeline Gloss, but if they are who they say they are, you are working with one of the biggest starlets of your generation. Her career has kind of fallen off, but 5 years ago, and maybe not even that long, you'd see her name plastered over every movie poster across every region.
Yeah, I'm
know
gonna
who
recognize the
Madeline
name.
Gloss is. At least the name. You know who Madeline Gloss is. You don't know if this is Madeline Gloss.
So I'll
But
kind
if
of
it
perk
is,
up.
that's who it
Not
is.
gonna say anything, but I'm gonna perk up. It's like, okay, that's familiar.
And she kind of like gestures behind her, like not fully having Gothita out, but like stepping aside to show her. But like, and of course, my Gothita.
All right, and a Gothita. And you, sir?
I'm gonna be Upton.
Upton. How do you spell that?
UPTON.
No, I don't. I'm incapable.
Alright, so it's like up and ton. And you just
Okay,
mix them together.
got it. All right, and who are you
We're just
submitting
gonna let that
for Pokemon?
pass.
Yeah, he didn't
I'm
even.
incapable.
He didn't even want to acknowledge it. He's like, I'm just gonna keep
Madeline
spelling
just
my
looks
name.
vaguely horrified.
I'm just like, I've had to interview people that have said a lot worse stuff than this. Y'all are weak. It's like, I'm gonna gesture up. I imagine Scoop's kind of just floating around, just kind of checking out the sights. He's a really curious little guy. He's like, I'm gonna enter that Solosis up there.
Okay, and Solosis. All right, here's your tickets, and she's gonna tear off some ticket stubs to each of you. Wait for your number to be called, and that'll be the order that you battle in.
Madeline.
Battle in Madeline. Jimmy's gonna smile. Thanks, Lou. You know, your sister's been acting strange, giving me the cold shoulder. Maybe you and I could go see a movie sometime and generate some jealousy? It's Louise
Oh,
and
Open that with your sister has been shunning me.
and no, Jimmy, we could not.
Oh my goodness.
Jimmy is going to produce an envelope and place 4 equal stacks of money on the counter. Put these on those, or 3. All my notes are in reference to 4 people, and I don't have 4 people tonight. I'm so sorry. So he's gonna
You're all
place
good.
3 equal
That's
stacks
3
of
in the
money
mouth
on
of
the
my
counter.
pocket.
Yeah. Put these on those 3. All right, folks. I got money riding on you, so no pressure. But I gotta kind of give me that money.
Fair
Are
enough.
we going to get any of it?
Oh, absolutely not. You're getting licenses.
Oh, hey, I forgot to mention it. Did anyone else other than Upton react when I said my name?
Louise did. Louise reacted. Durst has no idea. Let's do one for Jimmy. Let's see if Jimmy knows who you are. I think he will, but we'll just see how versed he is. Yeah, yeah. So Jimmy knows who you are too. At least he knows the name. So after stepping away from the counter, he's gonna step up to your side and say, "You really Madeline Gloss?
It's certainly my name.
Like like the Madeline Gloss? Like I get that's your name, but like movie star Madeline Gloss? Like
Why do you ask? Do you want
like
an autograph?
like Gallade runner Madeline Gloss? Like that Madeline
You
Gloss?
forgot about Cali, brother. Yes.
Oh my God! Mr. Tom got a celebrity working under him? Oh, that's so
Can
cool.
you like
That's
hands up
so
with it,
cool.
like a little bit? I'm so glad that you're so excited, but we are
Madeline,
supposed to be undercover.
Madeline, I am such a huge fan. Like
I'm so glad
Jimmy's seen
to
all your
meet you,
movies.
and you're doing it in third person. I love that.
All right, yeah. I'll keep it on the down low. Like I won't tell nobody. But like that's huge. Holy shit. That's awesome. Okay.
Listen. Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I can probably. No, I don't know. I don't know for certain because it's out of my hands. It's in executive producers and whatnot. I could probably get you some sort of autograph prop if you would split the bet money with us.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Roll me a guile check.
All right. Let's see if my
Ooh, that's not very high. He's gonna say,
that's
man,
surprisingly low for me.
you know, listen, Madeline, please don't take this the wrong way, but I
I'm
really,
already taking it the wrong way. I'm
I'm
pissed.
so sorry. Listen, if I don't get that money to some very important people, you're not gonna have an information contact no more. I mean, that's the easiest way I gotta put it, right? So like, my my fate is like in your hands as
Jim,
if you win or not.
let me just say this in the nicest possible terms. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have an information contact.
Oh,
Ouch.
yeah, I thought we were getting along.
She just
I was
walks away.
I was gonna go on a date to the mall with Durst tomorrow. I
I'll,
met my
I'll
movie
go.
star.
I look over at our burgeoning stars and be like, hey, don't. He's trying to help. Let's not get too crazy. Let's
The
not be too
P-Dubs are
mean to the
coming
guy.
back for their turf.
I mean, a fan.
I'm gonna lose P-Dub Street. There's like 2
Upton,
more
come here.
P-Dubs coming
A fanboy? There are about possibly 500 of them in this town. I'm sure we'll be fine. There is absolutely not 500 of them in this town.
in.
All due respect, ma'am.
Man,
This guy is getting us licenses, legit, so we can actually get What was supposed to do? Done.
Well, hey, I'm not the guy who is towering over him, threatening to beat him into a pulp, so I think I'm doing really well on the social front, and I
Now,
think I should
when
get some
did
credit for
I
that.
ever say I was gonna beat him into a pulp?
You didn't
And
say it, but you said it with your eyes.
with that, Durst will lay a thick and weathered hand on Jimmy's shoulder.
Ah,
We're pals, right,
yeah,
Jimmy?
yeah, we're best friends, Durst. He's gonna be
That's
wincing.
right.
God, I feel bad for Jimmy. Not in character, but
Listen, listen. I think you're up first, Durst. And that's when you'll hear your number called.
Well, look at that. So I am. Durst is gonna look around for Winona because he forgot to keep an eye on her.
Winona is licking the grease stain on the floor where you dropped that single French fry 5 minutes ago.
I knew it was a good idea to bring those. He's gonna wander over and
You
scoop
leave
her up.
a trail of French fries to the dance floor.
the whole time they're battling, he's just chucking them at the opponent.
Okay, so we are going to move forward with our first battle. Winona is going to take. Winona is going. Oh, I forgot to do something. I am so sorry, but guess what is about to happen, you guys?
What?
Boom! Look at your roll 20s.
Ooh, that's sick.
Welcome to the racket room.
Oh, hell yeah!
All right.
This place is sick.
So we're gonna go ahead and move you right there, Durst. We're gonna move Winona right here for you. Okay. You guys can feel free to move your characters wherever you'd like. Jimmy is gonna move up off to the left to this little seating area where there's like the curved booth that wraps around one of the walls. Two tables, two chairs on the side, but then a family style booth seating that wraps around. He's going to be sitting behind the table. Waiter is going to come by. He's going to order. He's like, I'd like some tap water and put it on my tab. Hold the
Specifically tap
ice.
water.
And
Oh.
the waiter is going to say, are you sure you can afford it, Jimmy? Jimmy's going to look to you all and say, yeah, I think I can. And he's going to smile and give you a big thumbs up.
Okay. So he ordered tap water with no ice, so room temperature tap water. Could not afford it. I'm gonna go ahead and take a seat next to Jimmy. Like, not acknowledge that he exists there, but,
I'm gonna sit
seated
over there
next
as
to
well
him.
because I need a table for me to finish my food that I've just been holding the plate this whole time.
So
It's kind of just gonna be floating around the whole time, just kind of exploring.
a Pokemon is going to exit with a trainer behind it. So this trainer is going to step out. He has a you know what? Let's see what we got here. Jogsaw. What does this
Yeah.
trainer look like?
I'm
What's the most
picturing some like the
80s thing you can
typical
think?
like. Do what?
Oh, what's like the most 80s thing you can think?
80s thing I can think. I'm thinking like the picture of him is like mohawk, neon hair, like bright shirt, like black jacket, kind of like sleek leather, standard like 80s punk kind of look.
Okay. All right. He's going to have a nose ring. He's going to have a spike
Yep.
collar, earrings hanging down, these glow in the dark tattoos where the neon lights hitting it are going to be showing off all these designs. You're going to see that it looks like steam lines moving up along with fire that's on the back of his palms. And the Pokemon he sends out is this small block of coal with a single wheel on the bottom and a glowing red eye. Be across the arena from you, Durst and Winona. The announcer is going to call out, and tonight we have a new challenger. Durst. Well, everyone's gonna cheer for you, Durst. Durst, do you do anything to showboat, or are you in the zone?
Durst will just remain stone-faced, scowl never moving.
Winona is just going to be panting and like she's gonna lick her arms and her paws, trying to get more French fry taste, and then turn around and start sniffing your pocket. The
Durst
opponent trainer
will
on the other side, sorry, the referee is going to call out, and on the other end, we have, with a record of 3 wins, 5 losses, Terror. What's this person's name?
John.
John.
But it's spelled like Sean.
Okay, John, but
You
spelled
can't
like
tell
Sean.
this over the the intercom, but it is.
The people off to the side are gonna be, some are gonna be booing, some are gonna be cheering, but all in all, he's definitely getting a crowd reaction from everyone. So we're gonna start off with a league sanctioned battle rule. Now, how this is gonna work, Possum, is initiative is based off of speed stat in PTU. And in league sanctioned battles, the trainers will go first, declaring their actions in order from lowest to highest, but then executed highest to lowest. This gives those with a higher speed the opportunity to strategize and counterplay without having to worry too much about what's going on. For example, let's say John has a lower speed than you, and so your action would technically come first, but he's going to say what he has to do, what he wants to do first. And let's say John has a water type Pokemon, and you've got a grass type. Well, John doesn't want a total sweep here. He doesn't want this grass type Pokemon to just beat his water type Pokemon right off the bat. So John is going to declare that he's going to use his action to swap out his water type for a fire type. He's going to pull out a fire type to go against your grass type. Well, you know that's what he's going to do, so you get to counterplay. So you know he's going to swap out his water type for a fire type. You could say, I'm going to swap out my grass type for a water type, and then immediately get that advantage again. So it gives you a little bit of leeway, gives you a little bit of movement with trying to counterplay against other people. And then Pokemon turns go in order from highest to lowest as normal, no special rules, just normal initiative from there. So, that being said, Durst's speed is 5. So, comparatively to this guy, was a 10.
John.
Yeah, to John, John's got a 10. So, John would be able to have his action go off first, but Durst is going to say his. I believe Possum's having some. So the turn order will be Durst calling out his action first, then John calling out his action. The actions executing in order of John to Durst, and then we cut to the Pokemon. In PTU, everyone has 2 characters that they are controlling. They're controlling their character, and they are controlling their Pokemon. Both have full action economies. You have your basic action, you have your swift action, which is like a bonus action, and you have a shift action, which is like a movement. Now, the first one up out of the Pokemon, Winona's speed is 10. So Winona will go first, followed by the Coal Pokemon on the other side. So, that being said, Durst, what is the first action you would like to take in this battle? Reminder, you also don't have to do anything. As a trainer, you could just defer to your Pokemon, instead just leaving it to give them a command.
I'm gonna leave it to Winona.
John will do the same, deferring to his Pokemon. He's not going to have anything. So we will go ahead and move to Winona's turn, because Winona gets to go first. What do you command Winona to do?
Now, am I right in assuming that speed is equivalent to how many squares?
No, the number of squares is over on the side in capabilities, your overland is the number of squares you can move. All right, so Winona
Move there.
moves up a little bit more than halfway on the court, the small dance floor that's been set aside for battling. And what do you command Winona to do?
I'm not within range for any move, so that will
Just hold on
that'll
tight for
have
now.
to be my turn, or I guess. Yep.
Okay. So this coal Pokemon is going to roll forward on its single wheel. It's going to move out and over to right about here, about in line horizontally with Winona. And the trainer, John, is going to call out and say, Roly Coly, use smoke screen. Roly Coly is going to spew this black smog out from its mouth, creating a huge cloud, creating an area of fog. And you guys have lost sight of where they are in the battle.
Is that good? Is he winning? I don't.
From there, the trainer is going to call out that I'm gonna put this in a brighter color. That way, it's a bit easier to see. The trainer will tell Roly Coly, "Just bide your time, Roly Coly. Let that thing come to you." It's back up to you, Durst.
What Durst will do? Let me check out the character sheet real quick.
Yeah. Do remember that this is a league-sanctioned rules battle, meaning that you can't interact with the battle in terms of using anything that would impact the battle. Like you couldn't use any moves. But you could do things if you were cheering on your Pokemon of some kind, but you can't give them buffs or anything. You could use items, you could call out, but interacting with the Pokemon battle itself is strictly prohibited. So if there's nothing that sort of fits that niche, and you don't see anything that Durst would do throughout the battle, we can just keep it strictly Pokemon. That way it flows a little bit easier.
Yeah, for right now, it's just gonna be
Okay.
strictly Winona who will be taking actions.
All right, it is Winona. While you are in this smoke screen that Roly Coly has created, you have a -3 to any attacks that you make.
Oof. So, what Winona will do? Is there any particular order that moves have to be taken? Like,
No. The only thing is
alright,
that
cool.
you can't break up your movement if that was something that you were looking into. You only get one shift action, and you either have to spend up to or the maximum of your movement in one go. You can't move 2 spaces, use a move, and then back away 2 spaces.
All right. Then what Winona will do is, I imagine sniffing the air, and where last they saw the coal Pokemon, they will move. They will shift 1 block forward and make a sand attack -3.
So sand attack, 7. So you do have to subtract 3 from this, making it 4. It was technically a 9, minus the 2 for AC, -3 for smokescreen. So 4 compared to Roly Coly's evasion, which is only a 1. So this is a successful hit, which they are blinded until the end of their next turn. Blindness represents a target's vision becoming obscured, of course. A blinded Pokemon or trainer receives a -6 to accuracy rolls and must make an acrobatics check with a DC of 10 when traveling over rough or slow terrain or become tripped. So they have a total of -9 to their attacks this turn because of the smokescreen. They are not immune to their own smokescreen. That's going to come back up to them for their turn. Roly Coly is going to try and move in the closest direction that it can away from Winona, which moving away right there is going to provoke an attack of opportunity if you would like to take one with Winona.
What is allowed for an attack of opportunity?
It is just a struggle attack.
All right, I will roll the AC for that then.
Okay, yeah, that's going to hit. You rolled an 18, Accuracy check on struggle is 4, making that 14, and then -3 is 11 compared to the the evasion of 1, 11 guaranteed hits. So go ahead and roll the damage for a struggle attack. 18.
I got
All right.
you.
So 18 minus their defense. Struggle attacks do normal damage, and roly-poly is a rock type, so that's actually going to decrease the amount of damage that is dealt. Resisted hits, it's still half damage, so that's the same from the games. But if we had a super effective move, a super effective would only hit for 1.5. Double effective would hit for 2 times damage, and then a rare triple effective move would be ×3 damage. So double effective would be your traditional ×4 weakness you would see in the games, like a water ground type being hit by a grass type move. That'd be a ×4 because it's super effective against those two. This one, they tone it back to 1.5, ×2, and ×3 respectively for super effectiveness. And the resisted hits, it's 1/2 and 1/4. So that is still technically the same. The resisted is the same. So it's going to take half damage after the defense, which defense comes out to just 3. So 15 divided by 2 pulls it out to 7.5, and we always round down in this. So you're going to deal 7 damage to the roly-poly. The roly-poly is going to get out of the smoke screen, make it over back to its trainer, and from there move over. Actually, it's going to hang out there. It's still blind, so it's going to sit here and try to rub the burning coal on the front of his face against the ground to try and get that sand out of it, rub it out. And it is back to Winona's turn.
I have, I guess, a question that could be ascertained through a skill check. Since this is a sanctioned match, would Durst know of any ring out rules?
You would know that if a ring out occurs, they'll call it out. We'll say that because it's different depending on where you are, right? So they are going to tell you that if you fall outside the ring, they pause to put you back in. You don't call the battle based on ring out. It's explicitly by KO or surrender. Those are the only ways that you win.
Is there any check that I would have to roll as Winona to figure out they're no longer in the general vicinity?
It would be a perception. I mean, you knew enough that they were running away from you whenever you hit them, but about how far they are from you, you don't know.
All right, then Winona will head in a straight line where they think they went.
Okay.
Until they see them.
Yep, and you'll be out of that.
The end of the shift.
You'll be out of the smoke screen with this as well. The smoke screen is going to persist. It doesn't seem to be dissipating. So you've got this big plume of smoke sitting over the edge or over the center of the ring that's causing a big cloud to just loom over it. The only place that you're actually able to stand that doesn't create this cloud is the edge.
And what Winona will do is, upon their eyes fixating on this Pokemon, they will attempt a tackle.
All right, and that'll hit. You've rolled a 5. Tackle's AC is 2, so 3 compared to their evasion. That hits. Roll your damage for tackle. 24 minus defense, and then cut in half because tackle's normal. This is rock. That is still 10 damage. That is a significant amount. Winona is going to land a heavy hit on this coal Pokemon, and as Winona rams her head into the coal Pokemon, it's going to get sent flying. The wheel is going to bounce and skid as it pushes to the side. It's going to leave like this trail of charcoal that's been smeared along the dance floor, and it's going to skid to a stop before teetering and getting itself back up. Steam is going to come out of the front of it as it gets a little angry off of that. You'll just hear like a sharp as the heat is let out from the roly-poly. John is going to say, "Roly-poly, don't let that dog do that to you. You go ahead and get back in there. Hit them with your tackle." Tackle will hit Winona. It's going to build up that speed before landing. Deal 16 minus Winona's defense, then cut in half is the damage you'll take. And Winona will be pushed back 2 squares, sort of bouncing off of the dance floor, falling over to her side and having to pick herself back up. How does Winona react to this? You know, she's been pretty dopey up to this point. Does it remain that way in this battle?
Winona will probably give out a yelp of surprise. This is the first time that I think she would realize that she's actually in a fight.
Okay.
And her eyes will laser focus on the roly coly.
All right. Winona's drifting eye is going to zone back in, feet planted, eyes narrowed, a low growl like gravel clacking against each other coming from Winona's throat can be heard. Even from your side and over the bouncing music, you just hear like this low crackle of rocks grinding together. And it'll be Winona's turn.
Hearing that, Durst is gonna yell out, "Get it over with already!" out into the general area because I don't think he can see past this.
No, but you could move if you wanted to. You're not restricted to standing in one place. You can go around the ring. You just can't step foot in the ring.
No, Durst will stay where he is. He expects Winona to finish this quickly now.
Okay. Yeah, so Durst with that confidence in his Pokemon, not even able to see where she's at, but just shouting through the smoke cloud, knowing that since the match hasn't been called, Winona's still in it. She can hear you, and you expect her to listen.
Gets right up on the roly-coly, and they will use Leer now that their eyes have focused in.
All right. Okay. Winona is going to stare down at this roly-coly, only having a couple inches in height over the roly-coly, but her eyes narrowed will leer down on this Pokemon, and it's going to have it shivering a little bit before it shakes it off and pushes back in. What this does is it's going to lower their defense, just like in the games. It's going to lower it by one combat stage. In PTU, that is 10%, is how much that is lowered by. The Roly-Coly's turn is going to be back up, and John is going to say, Roly-Coly, go ahead and use Rapid Spin. And you'll see that Roly-Coly's wheel will begin to rapidly wind up. A little bit of smoke coming off of the back like it's burning out, and you'll hear that high-pitched wheel of a tire as it launches itself forward and tries to put that tire right into Winona's face. Landing there and dealing 22 damage minus defense halved. Yeah, so it'll launch itself forward. That spinning wheel landing directly onto Winona's muzzle, pushing her head down to the ground, and you'll hear that burnout continue onto her face as Roly-Coly then bounces off back into its spot and skids into place. The coal, the space right above the burning coal on its face is going to narrow, almost showing it it's got a serious look, despite having no other expressiveness.
Okay. Winona is... Oh, okay. So Winona has now hit their 75% health marker. Would that be visible?
You won't be able to see it. John will kind of see it, but I mean, the 75% mark isn't anything to be concerned about. It doesn't have anything mechanically wise.
Once again, we tackle.
Tackling. All right. This one is gonna miss. So Roly-Coly, after having left a skid mark on Winona's face and then bouncing off, Winona is gonna try and tackle forward head first, and it's just gonna make her bite the dust. She's gonna hit the ground. The chin of your dog Pokemon is going to grind against the dance floor, and she is almost. I feel like this Pokemon doesn't feel embarrassment, but if you had seen it happen, you may feel that way. A couple of the people in the crowd are like, ooh, and you, not even being able to see what happened, know that Winona ate shit from trying to tackle. John is going to say, all right, Roly-Coly, let's finish it up. Use your tackle. That'll hit for 18 minus defense halved, pushing Winona away again. Roly-Coly is really picking up gumption here. What are you guys doing on the sidelines watching this battle? How are you guys reacting? You see that Jimmy is chewing on his fingernails.
Eugene is like, are you okay, man?
Yeah, it's just like, a matter of life and death out there on that field right now, and the dog Pokemon, she's not really landing those hits like she needs to be.
As soon as Winona was starting to take a lot of hits, Madeline just kind of covered her eyes and then reached over and covered Gothita's, and it's like trying not to look.
Okay. Upton, would you say you would have finished your food?
Yeah, I'm working on maybe the last little piece of bacon. I'm just kind of
Taking your time.
watching. I'm having to try really hard not to pick up the camera and like grab some pictures because I know that's gonna really tick some people off, probably.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So I'm fighting that
You
urge.
know,
Meanwhile, Scoop is kind of just like drifting back and forth around the arena, just kind of watching.
Okay.
you know when you're eating your food and then you put on a little YouTube video and you're just sitting there chowing
Yep.
down and completely
Mhm.
out. Yeah.
No thoughts, head empty, kind of almost.
All right, all right. Well, Durst, it is Winona's turn.
Once again, Winona will amble over, right up on him.
All right.
A secondary question I have is Tackle says it has a push effect. If I land this, will I be able to push this roly-poly back into the smoke screen, or would it simply push them back?
It simply pushes them back. You would have to be on the other side of the roly-poly in order to push them into the smoke screen.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay. Womp.
And that'll hit. That'll be enough.
Hey.
All right.
24 minus the defense. Defense being lowered by Lear earlier in the match brings the defense down. It's still at oh no, it's down to 2. Okay, so 24 minus 2, 22 cut in half, 11. This thing to the crowd, to you guys sitting over there eating, this roly-poly is on its last limb right now. It is teetering. The fire going on in the front of its face is dimmed down. It's cooling down. And you see like bits of gray from where the coal has burned up around its face. You can tell this thing is really, really beat up. Durst, you don't have that information. You're not aware of how the battle's going on the other side, but it's pretty low. It's pretty low.
So, for record, I would like to say that from the moment he told Winona to hurry up, he has simply closed his eyes and is impatiently tapping his arms crossed.
All right, all right. John is gonna say, "Don't give up yet, roly-poly. Use your tackle again. Get it away from you." And it's gonna miss. Roly-poly's going to
Man.
like breathe out a little bit of steam and tried a little bit of a wind up before launching itself forward. And doing so, all it's going to do is just tip over. It's going to lose its balance, like wiping out, fall over to the side, and struggle to pick itself back up. And it'll be back over to Winona's turn. Winona sees the Pokemon trying to get back up, clearly about to go down.
Rinse and repeat.
That'll hit. You can
Man.
roll your damage, but yeah, so you'll deal a total of 10 damage. This roly-poly is going to go down. This final tackle hits. What does it look like?
So, Winona, seeing the roly-poly falter for a second, their eyes are going to align fully, and they are just going to dash, and they're going to headbutt this thing square center of mass, sending it spinning wheel over wheel edge until it comes to a stop unconscious.
Amazing. All right. So the referee is going to step up. That's what I'm talking about. The winner is Durst and Winona, and the crowd will cheer you guys on. All hands are going up, clapping for you. The roar of cheers, and then the Loudred behind is going to push the record back and forth, making it skip before letting the music go forward. Um, and the smoke from the smoke screen will slowly dissipate. Winona trotting back over in your corner, and John's gonna say, "You tried your best, roly-poly." He's gonna recall it.
I would like to think that Winona will stand there transfixed, not really knowing what's going on after the victory, until Durst opens his eyes after hearing she won. He will fish out a few more fries. She will smell the grease, and that is what draws her over towards Durst.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah. I hear the announcement that it's over, and I kind of open up my fingers a little bit, and then I put my hands down. Oh, okay. Oh, didn't go that bad.
I'm
Okay.
just doing a little kind of golf clap. It's like, I had a feeling that dog could do it, even though its eyes didn't point the right way.
I'm not sure how it saw the opponent.
I mean, the smoke screen might have helped it a bit.
Jimmy is over on that
In
side of
a
the booth.
weird,
Like,
like
yeah,
refractive way.
let's go, cowboy. Yeah. Thirst, you and me. We're gonna make it big. You hear me? We're gonna be big. Everyone's gonna know your name, just like they know Jimmy's name.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Jimmy.
Timmy?
Jimmy.
Got it.
Good. See, even Madeline Glass knows my name. Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about you, Timmy.
It's Jimmy though. But yeah, we're gonna be thick as thieves. Couple of dummy thick steely boys.
Nope.
Durst will flop Winona on the table and dump the remaining fries on the table as well, where he will eat off of the table, as will Winona.
Heck yeah. So you guys. Oh wait. Do you eat with your hands, or do you eat like Winona
He
does?
just slams his face into the table.
So I like to think that Durst is just hands deep in this pile of fries, and he is trying to deftly avoid Winona's crazed eating of the fries.
Like, almost
This is
losing a couple
nothing new.
fingers.
All right.
You will, if you, I would like to think that if you roll the perception, you will see that his hands are scarred here and there from a misjudgment of distance from time to time.
You got
Gotcha.
distracted one too many times, and she just.
She's a special gal.
So
She's certainly one of those.
Jimmy is going to be looking over at the other two of you and say, "All right, now we just got two more. If you guys can win your fights, you have no idea the level of appreciation I'm gonna have for you. You're gonna have a favor from Jimmy himself. Jimmy's gonna owe you, you know? Like right now, I'm on a job for your boss, Mr. Tom. Mr. Tom put me out here to get you your licenses, but you see, what I'm telling you is you do this for Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna owe you a life debt. You call on Jimmy for anything. But you gotta win though, both of you. Otherwise,
Duly noted.
probably gonna be sleeping with the Magikarp."
One of us loses, you're going to kill all of us?
No, I said I would be sleeping with the Magikarp.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
No,
misheard you. I thought you were threatening us.
I struggled with the P-dubs. You know, I don't think I could take even one of yours probably. But no,
You also struggle with the Magikarp.
yeah, I mean, Magikarp's scales are harder than diamonds. You know, how the heck you even hit one of those things?
They only really
Hard.
know one move.
Yeah, but that one
Not a very
move,
impressive one.
you drop a 20-pound fish made of diamonds on someone, you know, it's gonna hurt.
Man has a point.
Can you not lift 20 pounds?
I mean, I can, but you know, if I drop a 20-pound brick on your noggin, you gonna be able to walk that off?
I guess not.
I guess you're gonna be getting ready up next, Madeline. And, he's gonna put out a hand and say, "Will you shake Jimmy's hand?"
I look at his hand, and then I start fixing my hair clips.
Right. He's gonna wipe his hand off on his jacket and then put it in his pockets. Like, yeah, go Madeline! And they're going to call out your name. And next up, we have the Madeline Gloss, known from many movies, such as. What are some movies that Madeline Gloss has been in?
I sent you a message with a bunch of them. Did they just like look up my IMDb page?
No, they know
Internet doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, they know who you are. You're famous enough that they know that you're you, right? Yeah, I can't get off of the stream page without it popping up on stream. So call out a couple of your movies.
Well, there is, of course, Gallade Runner, which is probably the most well-known. Hard Region, Clan of the Ursa Ring, Felix Magnolias. I really like that one.
Nice.
See what else? We've got Cartanas, Legal Braviaries, and High Spirites.
Which?
I don't imagine they called out all of them.
No. Let's call
Probably
two.
just like Gallade Runner and Clan of the Ursa Ring.
So they'll say, and we've got Madeline Gloss, the Madeline Gloss, the one who starred in those great movies like Clan of the Ursa Ring and Gallade Runner. She's here. She's ready to rumble, and with her is her Gothita, and the entire room is going to cheer again. The Loudred DJ pushing the air horn button. I know that's not very 80s, but he's ahead of his time. He's like, "Brr, brr, 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 brr." And
Okay, just got a kill streak.
Oh, baby, a triple. And a trainer on the other side is going to walk out. And on this side, we have Possum. What does this trainer look like?
This trainer will be decked out in a tweed suit, a newsies cap, and some nice polished shoes.
Is he from
Real
Gallup?
fast talker. This one looks. Yep, real fast talker. This one looks like.
You should have Jog name my opponents so that we can go in a triangle of naming each other's opponents.
Definitely am. Jogsaw, what is this character's name?
His name is Winston.
Winston. All right.
Yes.
Winston Churchill.
So
My God.
the
My worst enemy is the British.
The referee is going to call out, and hailing all the way from Galler with a win-loss record of 2 wins, 0 losses, we have Winston and his Cubone. And you're going to hear just as many cheers on the outside, even more so coming against you. And this dude so far has no losses in this fighting arena down here in the racket room.
I hear that more people cheer for him than they did for me. When I got a Z before my name, mind you, I just sort of cross my arms and sigh and like roll my eyes. Yeah, fine. Okay, yeah, sure. Whatever.
So you'll get up ready to battle, and the referee is going to put her arm up and say, and begin! What is Gothita's speed?
Let me see. It is an 8.
An 8. Cubone's speed is 5. So Gothita will go first. Do you have anything that Madeline will be doing during this combat, or do we want to keep it strictly Pokemon?
I'm not gonna mention it every time, but she's definitely like cheering on Gothita and like clapping and just very excited.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right. Well, Gothita is up first.
Let me see
what
the
legally
range
distinct 80s song is playing over the speakers?
Oh man.
You're like, there's so many. There's like, a bunch of songs are what's playing.
I definitely know what happened in the 80s. Let me check my Spotify. While I'm doing that, Confusion is a range of 6? What? Do I know what type Cubone is?
You do not.
Ah, that's fun. It's a ground type, isn't it? Is it? Oh. Let's see, what's her overland for? Okay, I can definitely get in range in this move. She's gonna move up, not quite her full overland, just like 3 spaces up,
Okay.
and try and use Confusion
Confusion.
on Cubone.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead and roll that?
Yep, go ahead and roll your confusion. And Possum, are you there?
Yep.
What 80s song is playing over the speakers right now? Legally distinct 80s song.
Take off me.
What they said. I don't know Hades music. Please don't put me on the spot for Hades
Yeah.
music.
What did you say?
Dancing Nidoqueen.
Dancing Nidoqueen. I love that one. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I felt so clever for that. Anyways, does that hit?
Your confusion does hit. And it's already got the damage
It's
built
already
in.
got the damage.
So that was 29. Big
That's
shmoney.
a lot better.
Absolutely. You'll do a total of 17 damage to this thing. Big damage right off the bat. How does confusion look?
I think I mentioned it before that like most Pokemon, at least in like cartoons and stuff, when they use these psychic type moves, you can kind of see it move through the air. But for whatever reason, Gothita's just doesn't. Maybe it's just not powerful enough to move the air, but she just sort of like Kubrick stares into the eyes of the enemy, and under the lighting, her blue eyes look almost like this steely gray, and it's kind of nightmarish. And then they get a really bad headache.
Oh, all right. I like it. So that sort of that look that Gothita is going, even though the crowd can't see it, they all think that maybe Gothita is using Leer, despite you calling out confusion. But then Cubone's head is going to start to hurt. He's going to begin banging the bone against the skull on top of its head, trying to get it to stop and eventually shake its head before its trainer, Winston, is going to say, Cubone, go on now. Go ahead and use ancient power. It's going to miss. The Cubone's still having that headache from Gothita's confusion. Is going to try and use its ancient power, lifting up some rocks, some rubble from the dance floor, and trying to chuck it over your way. All of them are going to miss. Gothita is going to stand there, still staring over at the Cubone, and the rocks are just going to go right past. And it will be back over to Gothita's turn.
Stay all the way over here, because I'm sure that this has a more powerful melee attack than I do. And I'm gonna try and hit him with confusion again, because that is my only non-melee attack.
32, even better than last time. So Gothita will look more intensely, just leaning forward. There's this, imagine from our perspective, the viewer's perspective, the camera zooms in on Gothita's eyes as we get closer. Those beady eyes, the pupils are just shaking violently inside of the sockets of her skull, and a little bit of blood trickles out from her nose. And Cubone is going to get dizzy. His eyes begin to spin, and he hits the ground.
Just like that?
Just like that. You did so much damage.
I feel like the Cubone looked into her eyes and saw how he was going to die before he hit the ground. For some reason, nobody else can hear this except for Winston. There's like a faint sting of violins, like the Psycho soundtrack.
I'm sorry, it's like that little tyke is scary.
Gothita will quickly anime shake her head really, really fast, so fast it's just a blur, and then she's gonna be perfectly fine. Use one of her.
She looks adorable.
Gothitas don't really have fingers, but her hand is just going to flick her bow, and she's going to strut, hip swinging back onto the way over towards you, Madeline. And the referee is gonna come over. She's gonna scream out, "I'm not really sure what happened. That's scary as hell. But Gothita is the winner."
Yeah, I'm patting Gothita's head. I'm like, oh, he did so well.
Jimmy is going to still be over behind the booth, yeah. Oh, this is great. Upton, You gotta win, my guy. Like, they're setting the bar. They're setting the standard pretty high for you, but you got this, bro. I believe in you. You totally got it.
All right, let's do this then.
No sweat. But my life is kind of in your hands right now.
Yeah, no sweat. Yeah, sure.
You're still like that was 2 different league battles. You were
Yeah.
how much debt are you in, man?
There's a lot of numbers involved.
At this point,
How many
Skeet
zeros?
is. What?
At least 6. But this'll at least give me the next month, you know? Like this is gonna get me through to what month is it,
Jimmy.
guys? It's kind of cold, so it was fall. We'll say it's October because it's October now. So this will get me through to November.
Hey, Jimmy. You should
Yeah.
look in my eyes, buddy. If you need one of us to get you like a passport, a fake name, fake your death, like, listen, dude. I really feel for you. I know that I've been playing it cool, but I'm really fucking worried about you now.
Jimmy's gonna look around and look over to you. You really mean that, Madeline? I mean, if you're serious, I can let you in on a couple of details.
Yeah. Spill it. Let us know.
All right, Madeline. I'm in deep shit with the Lin family. They're a mafia gang who runs Saffron City. If you guys can take down the head of the Lin family, Jimmy's scot-free, and I'm your man. I'll do anything for you. I'll work for you.
Okay,
You
Jimmy,
just
let's
gotta
not be
take.
parasocial. But yeah, I get it.
He's gonna say, you do me this solid, and you take out the head of the Lin family. There ain't nothing you're gonna have to worry about ever again. You have Jimmy's word on that. And there is where we will end this episode.